Hello, everyone. Welcome to a second episode of How to Conquer 2025. I am your host, Big Brother Alden, and today we're here to talk about how to make friends. As you get older, making friends becomes a little bit more difficult because when you were younger, it would be the guy that would sit next to you in class, or your neighbor, or a coworker. But as you get older, and you enter a new college, or you go from the transition from middle school and you maybe move to a different high school, you have to be a little bit more proactive. And, it is a skill like anything else. I think about when I was trying to improve my social skills, I would think about how people, made me feel that I admired. Um, People who are magnetic. People have a way of pulling you in and giving you this electrical feeling and leaving an imprint where you remember them and they really just give you good energy and you want to be around them. I think it's because as I was 18 and I entered politics, and I was at the library board, and I was also at the UMass board, serving as the UMass Lowell student representative. I learned that I was very good at, once I got to know people, I was good at connecting with them and getting to know them, but I struggled with approaching people and going up to them and saying hi and initiating that. I was in a very foreign environment until I was at this event in Concord, and I saw one of my mentors and my friends, Bobo Malone, hi if you're watching, and she had this way of making people gravitate towards her. She made them feel cherished, she made them feel wanted, because she would remember details about their family, she would know about their favorite movies, and she genuinely was listening for the sake of listening. I think sometimes we're guilty of wanting to listen to respond. And, it's very genuine to people when you do that. They can really sniff it out. So I invite you to genuinely listen. Even when you're in a classroom and you think you know the answer, put your hand down and you will realize the person next to you maybe has the same answer, and, open up yourself to listen. That's a big thing. And also be positive. Think about the time where, someone saw you do something incredible and they complimented you about it, or you wore something nice and someone pointed it out. You want to embody being positive as a frog, because, frogs are jumping around, you want to be with them. And I think, making people feel like you actually want to get to know them is important. I think Maya Angelou has a quote that you do not remember what people said or where they're from or what they do, but you remember how they made you feel. So really try to, be positive as a frog. I think a second thing that's really important, and I'm going to get called out for this because I really struggle being vulnerable, is, to be vulnerable as a rose. This beautiful thing that I created that totally doesn't look bad. I think being vulnerable is very important because we have a lot more in common than we think we do. A person from a different state, or who speaks a different language, or who's a different race, they still have the same wants. They want a good family, they want a good life, they, want to experience things. And when you meet people and you share things about you, that's where you really connect. I think it's just really important. It's sometimes hard because I know for me, I grew up, witnessing war, witnessing death, and never really spoke of it because, it's a sense of pride. It's so much easier to say you're doing fine when you're not. But I think over a couple of years ago when I did group therapy, we all sat down together and we were all at different ages, we came from different backgrounds. But when one person would share an insecurity, another person would be like, I also related to that. Another person would also relate to that. And we'd have these really rich, dynamic conversations. And I realized in social settings, I'd be either talking about when something upset me or when something made me really happy and excited. But when you have those deep and meaningful conversations is when things actually start happening and you start forming those intimate bonds. Be careful though, because sometimes people take being intimate a little bit too close. Do not be at the line at Stop and Shop telling the woman behind you that you have trauma from a breakup. She's just trying to get her food and leave. Or someone next to you at the bus. You don't want to be one of those people. So know when vulnerability is appropriate. That's something, but invite yourself to share something to your group or to someone that they may not know. Thirdly, consistency. Look at the time going down. I think consistency is really important. As you get older, you're going to have a lot more things to do. You're going to have jobs, colleges, girlfriends, and that's going to be a lot harder for you to, manage keeping in touch. It's going to be more of an effort, especially when people move away and get married and etc. But I think making an effort and incorporating in your day is important. And when people say they're busy, I kind of find it really funny because I lived in a town, I volunteered, I did stuff. And a lot of my friends ended up being parents where they would have like 3 kids and they would work multiple jobs, but they would, make the effort to see me once. Even like there was this one state representative I was friends with, and he even made the effort. And these are very busy people, and they're not giving out their energy to like strangers on the bus or to necessarily to people they just met. It takes time to build up, to get that bond with someone where they incorporate you into their routine, but they make time for their friends and people they truly care about. And that's what you need to do, because if you are achieving things and you're getting all these positions or doing all these things and you have no one to share it with, do you really think it's like worth it at the end of the day? You come back and you have a nice raise, but you come back to a room by yourself and you're spending the weekends alone. That's not meaningful. And the people that were there for you at your lowest should also be the people that are there with you through your highs. I think that's really important. So try to incorporate, whether it's a phone call, a text message. I have friends that live in different states, but we call each other every other week. Consistency, may vary over time and speed, but it should still be incorporated. Maybe instead of every day, you call once a month. Just try to find ways to incorporate it. And I think lastly, and this is something that I had to really learn, is be authentic. Think of different types of people who are really well known and really well liked. They aren't the same. Like you think about, Andy Black, or you think about Harry Styles, or Viola Davis. They're all different artists and different people, but people like them because that's who they are. And I also think about, for me, one of my friends, Jordan, who's right here. I really need to stop befriending guys who look better than me in photos. I don't need to be mocked on my own YouTube channel, but I do think I really admire him because whenever, in any situation, whether it's in a meeting or he's just meeting someone, he is authentically himself. He's not scared to wear a banana costume and walk around campus. He's not scared to, talk about being single. He's not scared to share things about himself. And that's what makes people gravitate towards him. He doesn't try to be someone who he isn't, and yet he's also so strong. And he really taught me how to advocate for myself and put myself first. So I think that's really important, that we're both two different people, but people are drawn to us because we're authentic and because we really want to get to know people. So yeah, Jordan, if you're watching this, hi. It's just so weird. I'm not really used to complimenting people or him. So don't let this get to your head, Jordan. But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, everyone. And thank you for joining me on this episode. Let me know what ideas you guys have down below, what you want to see, whether it's more fashion videos, more social videos, or more videos that you gravitate towards too. So thank you.
The choice is made. You give it all to live and give and take. Bound to be a mess, I'm fairly certain.